The following product is not approved by the FDA. Results not typical.
Following is a paid advertisement for NOG Fitness Drink. Your body demands it. Are you tired of being scrawny? Sick of the humiliation? Yeah, you're ready. NOG Fitness Drink is here for you. Hey you! Yeah, you! Scrawny! You need NOG. Don't know what that is? Let me show you. Hey, going right at you. Bam! Right at you. NOG, the complete muscle building energy shake. Made from the freshest grapes of wrath in 2 flavors, beer and meat. Isn't it time you monopolized your body? Oh, yeah. Woo! You'll run faster, hit harder, be cooler. Take this. All the cool kids are doing it. Why aren't you? Yeah. I remember when I looked like that guy. Then I got myself in the game with NOG. Yeah, do it. Do it now, NOG. Leave perfect competition in the dust. Get NOG. NOG Fitness Drink. Do it. Do it now. Just to show you how effective NOG really is, we're going to take a look at the economics behind NOG and demand and supply. Your body demands it, and we supply it. Buy it. NOG. Here you go, Ms. Fisher.
Today we'll be discussing the relationship between supply and demand in the marketplace. We'll be focusing on demand first. Law of demand states price will go up when people buy, and people will buy less. Price goes down, people buy more, other things being equal. The demand curve is downward sloping due to the inverse relationship between price and quantity. Non-price determinants are the only things that shift the demand curve. They are income, taste and preferences, price of related goods, expectations, and the market size. Moves along the curve only occur if there's a price change. The demand curve.
A change in a non-price determinant forces a shift in the demand curve to the right or to the left. For example, if we start at demand curve D and consumers experience an increase in income, we shift right to D1. Amazing. Now, going back to D as the starting point, the origin, as some would like to say, a decrease in consumer incomes would yield a shift to the left demand curve at D2.
Now we'll shift our focus over to law of supply, which states, at higher prices, a larger quantity will generally be supplied than at lower prices. All other things held constant, at lower prices, a smaller quantity will generally be supplied than at higher prices. The supply curve is upward sloping because of its direct relationship with price and quantity, and the only things that can shift the supply curve are the non-price determinants, which are cost of inputs, technology and productivity, taxes and subsidies, price expectations, and number of firms. A shift along the supply curve only occurs if there's a change in price. Now let's take a look at the supply curve. Here, we start with supply.
Supply curve S will be the origin for all intensive purposes today. Now, let's say one of the non-price determinants of supply changes and influences a shift in the supply curve. The supply curve can move from S to S1 or to S2, depending on the nature of the non-price determinant change. For example, if the cost of inputs increases for a producer, supply of the product will shift from S to S double prime or S2 because costs have gone up and it's now more expensive to produce that good. Now let's say cost of inputs have decreased. The supply curve will move from S to S1 because it's now cheaper to produce more. Alright.
The relationship between supply and demand can be illustrated in the marketplace, where they intersect and create an equilibrium point E.
This is the marketplace, which is out of focus. Nope. There we go. Okay. Well, as Olivia said earlier, and as demonstrated on the graph, there is an equilibrium point at point E where both supply and demand intersect one another. Where an equilibrium price and an equilibrium quantity are established. This is the market price and market quantity. Now, let's say, hypothetically, price increases to point B. The market will correct itself as the quantity demanded decreases, people consume less, and the price will be backed down to E again because consumers will buy less, therefore forcing producers to lower their prices. Now let's say the opposite happens and the price decreases. Quantity supplied would decrease, but the quantity demanded would remain the same. So there would be a shortage because people would be demanding more than is supplied. So the market would correct itself and the price would raise back to PE, and the quantity supplied would also raise back to QE to go back to a healthy market. Because consumers compete with dollars. When consumers compete, everyone wins. But get the edge.
Get some.
Get some.
Do it. Do it. Just do it.
Are you happy, Mr. Fisher?
But wait, act now, and we'll throw in 1 year's supply of NOG and a free bandana. Compliments of us on the house. Yeah. Just call the number at the bottom of your screen. Right here. This number. Call it.